as I was saying, the way to call a method so that it can perform the function. Now, the function of this method is to basically compute the total. Okay. The way to call it is just to use the name of the object that is calling it, or the name of whatever that is calling it. In our case, it's an object. And then we call total. Okay. That way, student1.total. Just that you've called the object. When you call that object, it's going to do this function. English plus math plus geo. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's now come here. We can have something like system.out.println. We can say total for student 1 is equals to what? Now look at this, plus student 1. In fact, look at this. It's without even doing that, you can even, because it's going to be replicating and you want to minimize code, you just cut it, bring it here. Okay. Can you see that? So here we have called it. Okay, it's just the same way I've done here. Like here, look at this, student1.total. Okay, total is there. You see, total is the method. Total is the method, and every method normally has that opening and closing brackets. Okay, to show that it's a function. Inside it, basically, it just shows that there are parameters inside it. That's why that's the function of the brackets, that there are parameters, and the parameters here are English, math, and geo. Okay, so student1.total, you've called that method or that function, and here. Okay, so you see, this is just repetition, so I could even just remove it and then I just have it here. Okay, so the moment I've said student1.total, it does what? It calls this, does this, and then because it is inside the display, it's going to display that total. So let's just start by first running this one so that you can see if it works. Can you see that? So total for student 1 is equals to 228. Can you see it has just done exactly that? It has added, it has done that function. Let's just a minute. Okay, let's now have for which student? Other students. Student 2, right? So student 2, let me just copy and paste, right? So that we don't have to keep coding. Let me paste it, and then I'm just going to change this to change this because it's a new object. I can change the values if I do it. I change that, change 80, and then I'm going to say total for student 2 is equals to do what? Student2.total. You call it by using the dot operator and the what? The opening and closing brackets. All right. All right. Let's see how that works. Total for student 2 is equals to 209. It has not brought for what? Student 1. Have you noticed that? So I'm just going to, had not done that. So I'm going to just copy and paste this, and then I'm just going to change here student 1 and here student 1. What is important here is the method being called, and which is total. And the way to call it is using the dot operator after the object calling it. That's basically the idea. Okay. So can you see that? 228, 209. That's basically how those functions work. So this is a function that has am I recording? Oh yeah. This is a function that has a return type, and this is what you call the return statement or the return keyword. These methods that have a return type are normally used to perform logical or mathematical functions. Okay, but then there are those methods that don't have a return type. For instance, if you want a function to display such that when that function is called, its work is just going to be displaying something when that function is called. So let's have in the question here, let me share this. Let me share this. So we are here. We need to extend this question just very, very small. Yeah. So it then uses a function to compute the total marks for each student and a function for display. For displaying the admission number. By the way, we never entered the admission number, right? The function for displaying the admission number. Okay. We never entered the admission number. So look at this question. We just said the programmer, it's us, entering the admission number of 2 students and their marks in 3 subjects. So we didn't actually enter the admission number in the previous class. Well, but of course, we have looked at the concept of what? A function to compute total marks. That's the concept of methods that have a return statement. Then the methods that do not have a return statement. And this is the one, a function for displaying the admission number. All right, let's see how that works. Let me share the next screen. So in fact, I had not entered student1.org. So let me start off by beginning with admission number. I forgot that admission number is equals to 3156, right? And then sorry. And then admission number, there we go. 26. All right, so we have a function for computing total. This is a function that has a return type. Then we are going to have a function for that doesn't have a return type. Now, okay, I think I have to share this again. Functions that have a return type. Sorry. When you're using a function that has a return type, you are going to basically use, let me just come here. You're going to basically use static void, then name of function or name of method. And then of course it starts with an opening curly brace, ends by closing curly brace, right? So what is the function of static? Static, the function of void is to show that this particular void, it shows that it does not have a return statement. Okay, it does not have a return statement. The void method is used to show that it doesn't have a return statement. Okay, it doesn't have a return statement. And then what about the static? Okay, static just basically means that this method belongs to that together. So static basically says, static is basically means that that method belongs to the class and it is not an object. Just static is just to say that that particular, whatever follows, that name is not an object, but it's a class. Just that's just it. Okay, but void means that this method does not have a return value. Okay, then one should mute their mic. Okay, so let's have a function for display. So we're going to say static void, we are going to say output. Okay. Then here we are going to have something to print. Are you together? So because it doesn't have a return type. Okay. So we have that. So we have just called it out because it's just a preferred name, and then just out to say that it's for output. Then its function is to do what? It's just to print. Okay. So we're going to come here and then call it. So student2. Just a minute. Did you have admission number? Sorry. Let's have just this that just does this function that says student marks. Okay. Student total marks. Okay. Just that. Okay, we are just going to have that instead of saying admission number. Let's just say student total marks. In other words, when that one is called, it is going to display just that. It's going to display student total marks, just that. And then let's come here. Then we are going to have empty function. So student1 dot now we have what? Out. Okay. Where is out? Okay. Do you have out here? Do you have out? Okay. Sorry. And then we're going to have student2.out. Okay, and then we are now going to do what? We are now going to have look at this, student1 dot total, just that. Now take this, take 183,950, 183,950. Then you're going to have 183,950. Use up class 14840. Student total. From 183,950. What we get? Oh, it doesn't bring. It is telling us she got 71. Okay. Are you able to see? You're able to see. Yes, Humphrey, there was another class before this. The others have solved for you. Have solved for you your problem. So well. Let's see what happens here. We are still getting this. Let me do a very, very small thing here. I'm going to create a new project. And then I'm going to call it methods. We call it methods. Then it gives me the working area. I'm just going to delete these comments because they are not necessary, at least to increase our working space. Okay. Then I remove all those. So I'm going to have a method. I'm going to have a method. I'm going to call it out. I just want to test the other one. It will have something like welcome to Java. Welcome to Java. I hope I'm recording. Okay. Welcome to Java. And then inside the main method, I'm going to call that. So I'm going just to say sorry. So here, I'm going to have these methods. Static without. Okay, let's see what this brings. Welcome to Java. Okay, basically, I'm just trying to show you how these methods without a return statement normally function, or can even increase here. Let me show you this. Let's try another where it is just one function that will allow the user to do every other thing. Okay, so inside the function you're going to declare int string. So string name is equals to new string. So you're going to say just going to oh, look at this. Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have that, okay? And then here, I'm going to have that function, okay? And then here, I'm just going to declare variables. Of course, because we need for user entry, we need to import the scanner class, okay? So import java.util. scanner, and then inside the main method we do what? We declare an object for scanner. So every time we declare an object, you begin with the name of the class. So scanner, I'll call it in. I can even call it x is equals to equals to new scanner system dot in. Okay, because in is a keyword for input, right? And then I've declared the function, right? And then I come here and do what? And tell the user. No, I've already told the user to enter name. Okay, so I'm just going to come here and declare a variable for name. So string name is equals to new string, right? And then the session is almost ending, but let's finish it up. Then when we have declared that variable, now we tell the user enter the name. But you see that that function is already that particular code is already in the function. So we just call that function. You see, so it will just say enter name. Okay, and then what do? We just now enter the name. So the variable is called name. So name is equals to in dot next line. Okay. Not in x, sorry, because our object is called x. Okay. All right. Okay. And then we can do what? We can now output. Okay. So we can now output in fact, we can, yeah, let's now output name. Let's just output. Okay. System.out.println. We're just going to output what? The name. Just that. Let's run this. Enter name. Joshua. So it will just output Joshua. You see that? So we've declared a function without a return type, which will just allow us to enter the name. Okay. And then when that happens, we just go to the main function, we declare the object for scanner, we declare the variable for name, then we call this method. So here, we are calling the method. We are calling the method, right? We are calling the method. So we are calling this particular method, this method called out. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how we normally work with functions. Functions with return types and function without return types. Okay. Now, is there any question so that I give you a question? Question? Okay. Let me give you a question there. Using classes and objects. I will share the screen shortly. Write a Java program to enter the name of two cars and their buying price. It then uses a function to compute the selling price for each car, where if a car is less than 500,000, then the selling price is 150% of the buying price. If the car is greater or equal to 500,000, then the selling price is 200% of the buying price. Use functions to decide the rate of the car and functions to compute the selling prices. Display the details of each car. Then display the details of each car, buying price, selling price. Okay, let me share this screen. So this is the question, and so that is the question. So that's what you're supposed to do. So you can probably, I don't know, you can take a photo of it because the session is ending here. And then what we are going to do, I'm going to create another session, but I'm going to give you like how many minutes? I'm going to give you like 30 minutes to 20 minutes. Okay? 30 or 20 minutes to do that question, and then we come back, we look at it, and whoever will have done something about it, I'm going to give them an opportunity to at least to show us, to screen share and to show us. So we have 2 minutes remaining. So that is the question. I want you to take a photo of it or screenshot it if you're using your phone. Take a photo of it if you're using your laptop. And then I'm going to, because the session is just about to end, so that after the session ends, I'm going to require you on your own to do that, okay? To do that question. And then I'm going to screen share after how many minutes? After 30 minutes. No, not after 30 minutes, after 20 minutes. Okay. So at 4 p.m., I'm going to come back online. So 4 p.m., you're going to click back. You're going to find a link there, you click back. Okay. join the class, so that now we see how that works. We finish up the class. Okay, so I'm going to give you 20 minutes. You do that. Then in the next 20 minutes, join the class. Take a photo of that. Take a photo of this question, so that when I end this class, you'll have the photo. Okay. I hope you've taken a photo. I need to end the class. In fact, the class is ending in the next 1 minute. The class is already ending in the next 1 minute. So take a photo of this. Okay. Then I want you to work it out in the next 20 minutes. Then you'll find out a link to the next class at exactly 4 p.m. Okay. So I hope you've taken the photo. The class is already ending. It's going to close in the next 15 or so minutes.